LSU reported a training camp yesterday, their first practice, first time being on the field. And I just remember it's good. It's like the first play of a game, that first practice in training camp. Like the nerves are there. Like you are the week, 2 weeks leading up to training camp. You're nervous. You're excited a little bit, but mainly it's like there's a lot of pressure because you know what kind of hell that you're about to go through with training camp. You know that the first day of practice is literally the last day you're physically going to feel 100%. Because from then on till the end of the season, there's going to be some bruises. There's going to be some bumps. There's certainly going to be a lot of soreness. But, yeah, our coaches, Jimbo used to tell us famously, like, look, your first practice of the year is the last day you're going to be healthy. So just get used to it. Expect it. And there's a difference between injured and hurt. And we're going to play hurt. You're not going to play injured. Because this is LSU. The next guy up is better than our first guy up when he's injured. But you are going to have to play hurt with some bumps and bruises. And but getting that first practice over is like probably taking the first punch in a boxing match. Like, okay, got hit. My nerves are done now. Now let's just go. I used to feel that way when I'd play in a football game. Like I wanted to get hit that first drive. Now, of course, I didn't want to take a sack or like get crushed, but I wanted to throw a pass and get hit. Just because I got did it immediately, it's like, all right, I'm in a fight right now. I'm in a football game. This is a collision sport, and it just knocks the nerves out of you. So I bet that's it's good to get on the field. The talk is over. There's been a lot of talk. We've been with them at media days, and rightfully so. They're really confident about the team. We know what we have at a lot of positions, but still there are questions that need to be examined. And, Taylor, we talked about the defensive line a second ago. Let's go back in the defensive backfield, talk about the transfers and how you see the defensive backfield playing out, any competition spots, and just how we kind of get that team, that position group to mesh.
So, it's funny. As far as the DBs go, the player I'm watching is the guy that's actually been there the longest, and it's Ashton Stamps. I just think for this defense to reach its full potential, Ashton Stamps has to be one of your starting corners. You got Delane coming in, great player, first year at LSU. The two safeties you brought in, Cooley and A.J. Halsey, great players, first year at LSU. Ashton Stamps is entering his third year in this program. He was a full-time starter last year, played a ton as a freshman. You need a leader in that secondary. Now, I'm not saying one of the transfers can't come in and do that, but he's in year 3 under Brian Kelly. He knows how this program works. He's seen a really bad defense his freshman year. He saw it improve under Blake Baker. I think Ashton Stamps, you were talking the other day about every position group needs a leader. It can be positive, it can be negative. Every position group has one. I would really like for Ashton Stamps to be the leader of that secondary. I get it. Everyone's excited about the transfers, but I need a guy that's been there, that's done that knows this program. That's Ashton Stamps. And then the other guy I'm probably keeping an eye on, very similar. We know who he is, but it's Harold Perkins. Only because there's been so much hype around him the past 2 or 3 years. Things are kind of quiet around him, and I like it that way better.
Yeah.
I don't want any pressure on Harold Perkins, but go back a year ago. He season-ending injury, game 4 of the season. Major Burns had to play the star position, and no offense to Major Burns, he's one of the weakest links on your defense. He was. In order for this defense to get better, if you put Harold Perkins in that role in place of a Major Burns, to me, that is a huge upgrade if he's the athlete that we all think he is. So, I know that they're a little bit more known commodities, but, I think both those guys have a lot to prove this year.
Yeah, Harold Perkins is the wild card, the ace in the hole, whatever you want to call it, especially when you look at the schedule, you look at the quarterbacks you're going to be facing, and let's just, they're focusing on it, so why don't we focus on it? Game 1 against Cade Klubnik. I did the breakdown on him a couple weeks ago. The guy can move. The guy can run. And Harold Perkins is that wild card that can shut that type of player down if used correctly. Now, he's been in the system. He's been at LSU long enough. I know dealt with some injuries. But I'll look back on 2022 game against Alabama. You could say this about a lot of people, but of course, if Harold Perkins didn't play that game, we don't win that game at home against Alabama. Jaden Daniels never has the chance to hit Mason Taylor.
Arkansas game, he almost won that one single-handedly.
Absolutely. I mean, it's such a big game. Shutting down what he did as a freshman against Bryce Young was one of the best defensive single-hand performances we've seen in a long time just from the impact that he made. So he's got lots of opportunities, and it starts with week 1 for the Battle of Death Valley. I believe that if used properly, we have to have great safety play to shut down Cade Klubnik. But if Harold Perkins can do his thing, if they cut him loose to put him in position from an X's and O standpoint to have that kind of impact, he can make all the difference. And then later on, we talked about the stretch with Vanderbilt, South Carolina, all quarterbacks that are going to have that extra skill set in their game that he can be a huge impact. So, like, man, I agree with you. And it's been a little frustrating with him because of the injuries, because, you know, there was the year we didn't really know how to utilize him. I got to trust in our guy, Blake Baker, that he's going to figure it out. And with all the other pieces more solidified, maybe he can be freed up to make that impact.
Well, he's an underrated in coverage, always has been. Like, I think he had 2 interceptions as a freshman when he dropped back. Like, you didn't ask him to do it a ton. When he did, he was super productive. And, like, everyone wants to, like, oh, we got to move Harold Perkins around. He can do all of the things you want him to do from that star position. That's why I think it's perfect. He can blitz off the edge. Major Burns did it a year ago. He can drop back in coverage. He could scoot in and play inside the box and be that third linebacker if you need him to. He can do all those things from that spot. Like, it's taken you a little while to figure out where Harold Perkins is. I think this is the perfect spot. And, I mean, again, not a knock on the guy. I think this is a huge upgrade from Major Burns.
Yeah, I'd like to see, at least on third down, some situations where you try to hide him around, get him close to the line of scrimmage, and disguise whether he's coming or he's not. And you can bring 4 people. So normally if you just rush 4, it's not a blitz or a pressure. But you can bring 4 people and create the look of pressure because, okay, 2 of our defensive line are dropping into coverage, 2 safeties are blitzing, or 2 linebackers are blitzing. So you're creating protection struggles and stretching the protection rules, but you're only bringing 4 guys. I'd like to see him start on line of scrimmage, and the quarterback, when the defensive line drops into coverage from a defensive line position, whether it's an end or a tackle, it's almost impossible for any quarterback at any level to see that. So I would like to see him have that ability to kind of hide him, disguise him. Even if you're not dropping him into coverage, you're dropping him into be a rat on the quarterback, to spy the quarterback, because that's what we did against Alabama in 2022, and it worked. So there's so many different ways. He is such a weapon, and we have got to find a place. And I trust that we will, and I think we got the pieces in place all around him from a personnel standpoint where he doesn't have to do too much. Just be an athlete, and be a game changer. And I think that's what he got. I think he can do that.